Hello, my name is Marcello with 3S Shooting Sports Software. Today I'm going to teach you about permissions in 3S Shoot Pro. So the first thing that I'd like to do is just give you a brief overview of how permissions works in Shoot Pro. So the easiest way to explain it is that there are buckets, and each bucket has a name and it assigns permissions to certain computers. So for example, you have a admin bucket and you might have two computers in that bucket, and all of those computers are assigned the same permissions. Same thing with level 1 users. They are all underneath one bucket called level 1 user, and all of the permissions that are assigned to that bucket are then applied to those computers. Now, what this means is that each one of these computers has a certain role. So for example, let's say that level 1 means classification. So you have two computers that have permissions for classification, and you have two people who are classifiers, so they only work on those two machines. Same thing for your squatters, your cashiers, and then finally you have one computer that is an admin on the network, which gives you full control over what is going on through the 3S system. So the admin computer then has access to absolutely every permission that there is. So let's look at how we would implement this system. So switching over to our server, if we go into File menu and we go to number 8 permissions, we have our different groups. So here we have level 1, level 2, level 3, restricted, and admin manager. Now these are the ones that are provided directly with 3S. You don't have to use these. You can even create your own. So what I'm going to do for this video is I'm going to add a group, and I'm going to call it classification. So now that I've typed in a name, I'm going to go ahead and click save. And now we have a classification group. So we can go ahead and select what permissions we would like to assign to that classification group. So I'm going to say that I want them to be able to do handicapping. I want them to be able to show totals, special class totals. We're just going to give them some basic operations, such as printing squad rosters, or actually, you know what, we will be able to let them display squads, display scores, just so that way they can see what the scores are and stuff like that. Let's see, we'll do score sheets, and then, now that we've assigned what permissions we want our users to be able to have, we'll go ahead and click Update. So now this bucket has these permissions. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of that. And now if we go over to our File menu and go to Network Configuration, we'll see a list of all of our different computers on the network. So here we have client 1 and 2 assigned to classification. If we want, we can set that client 2 to be an admin. And so if we go over to our second client and open 3S, we can see that they have access to every single menu in the system. They can do whatever they want. But if we come back over to the server and change this from an admin role to the classification role that we just created, and click the green check mark, go back over to that client computer and open it, there's only a couple of items that are allowed. So classification, if we go into the scores menu, they're able to see the scores, they can display squads, so they only have set permissions. They're not able to do everything on the network. So the people in classification can't run payoffs, they can't do any cashiering. They are locked down strictly to classification. Now we could always do the same thing for our squatters. So I'm going to go ahead and go back over to the server, close out of our network setup, reopen Shoot Pro, go to the File menu, go to Permissions. I'm going to add a new group. I'm going to call this Squatting, hit save, and now I can say that I want them to have access to everything in the squad menu. I want them to have access to everything in the scores menu. I want them to have access to the trophy reports, and that's it. So then I just click update, close, and once again, if we go back over to our client computer and close and reopen, it's going to still have the classification role. So we are only set to do classification. You can always go to Utilities menu number 14 as well to show the permissions level, and it'll tell you what permissions group this is assigned to. So this client computer is assigned to classification. I can click OK, exit out of that, and then go back over to the server, just like before. Go to Network Configuration, find our client computer, change that over to squatting, hit the green check mark. Now when we come back over to our squatting computer and open 3S, we can see that we now have our squatting options. So we can go into squatting, and we can go ahead and go to Utilities menu number 14, show permissions level, and now we can see that this computer is assigned to the squatting group. So hopefully that covers everything that you need to know about roles in 3S. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. We might do another video on secure mode. However, I wouldn't suggest using that unless if you are in a really insecure location where all of your computers are left alone and easily accessible. However, I think that everybody should use insecure mode. It's a lot easier to use. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you have any questions, feel free to email us at support@shootingsportsoftware.com or call us at 1-801-396-7800. If you like that video, hit the thumbs up button. If you'd like to see when we post new content, hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to receive notifications on when we post new videos, hit the bell icon. Thanks for watching.